What is up, everybody? Duke, Xander. How are y'all doing? Finally able to stop by a Vegas stream. Yeah, dude, glad you could make it. Glad you could make it. Tuesday, Thursday seem to be the regulars for some reason. And around this time, sometime between 9:30 and 11 is when we start. Trying to make it more and more regular, but you know how it is. Life happens. Killa, me too, dude. Gilly is, I think, my first like OG champion I went to. I mean, we are going like way back to when I had literally no idea what was going on in this game. And I just loved her because I could actually win arena battles with her. I could throw the SB2. Willpower was very different back then. I did not understand the game well enough at that time to know how it was different, but I knew that it was different. I feel like it was significantly stronger. And if I threw the SB2, even in those death matches, I could win the arena match. And so I just absolutely loved her. Plus, I mean, dude, she's wearing amazing armor, an awesome cape, and she's got a massive sword, right? Like, she's starting off pretty well there. I think I said hi to Duke. Duke, if I missed you, dude, what is up? I wanted to stop by and sub live. Thank you so much, dude. I really do appreciate that. It's always funny, like, how many people were like, dude, I didn't realize I wasn't subbed. It's been months. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Jacob, what is up, dude? Love the Shang-Chi and the hat. They are looking good. They are looking good. We're going to wait a few more minutes, let a few more people show up because you know how it is, right? Like the alerts just went out. I just put it out on Twitter, went out on the Discord server. It'll take a few minutes for people to show up and they're going to be like, wait, what? Could you read her first ability again? And not that that's a big deal, but we'll wait like 2 or 3 more minutes here. MUH, what's up, dude? Really excited to see this one. Hey, I saw you saw I put you in. I didn't put you in, but I talked about your War Machine video in my last video. My video that went out today, I had no idea how to market it, and we'll see how it does. I think it's a really good video. The whole point was twofold. One is I'm going to rank up a tech champion, 6-star rank champion to rank 3. I'm just not sure who it's going to be. I've got what I believe to be like the awesome of the awesome ones put up in Ghost. For me, Guardian, Warlock, of course. I have Hulkbuster, and there's someone else who I'm forgetting at the moment. But I've got quite a few ranked up. And then now it's like, okay, what do I need? What's going to help my account? And how am I going to go about analyzing that? And so I was like, I'm going to take everyone through that. I'm going to take everyone through that process. I do think that'll be fun. I do think that'll be exciting. It'll give us some insight into those champions that I'm considering. And then one of the most common questions, we all do it, right? We do it on line chats and Discord, Twitter, like literally anywhere anyone will listen to us. We ask, like, who should I rank up? And so often the answer is not the definitively best champion or the highest in a tier rankings. It's, well, who's going to help your account? And so I was just kind of hoping to help people out. OG Highline, coming in strong. What is up, dude? How was your weekend? How was your weekend? I have a feeling it was awesome. I have a feeling it was awesome, man. I hope it was. Let me get this up there properly. You got to do it properly around here. It's properly, not proper, right? Tho, what is up, dude? J Will, how you doing, man? Thierry, thanks for stopping by, buddy. John, what's going on? Sand, yeah, we'll get started here, dude. We will. You know what? I think we've got plenty of people here. Let's go ahead and get started. And always, thanks for the subscribing, Xander. Really do appreciate that. And like I said, I have friends who I know I've been doing this for it's about a year now that we're celebrating the anniversary. And they're like, dude, I'm sorry I wasn't subscribed. I didn't know. I watch your videos. I see their comments on them. They just weren't subscribed. So, and subscribing does actually help. And I mean, I really appreciate the shout out. I mean, dude, I've been looking forward to it. I'm excited to watch it. I'm going to review War Machine a little bit more in the videos. I have just being totally like, I hope I'm not spoiling it for anyone. I do think he's going to start to fall aside a little bit. There is a bit of a he's an underdog, someone who I was like, I'll just test him because, I want to put him in there. I have him. And he is absolutely blowing me away in some just initial testing, but a lot of the initial testing is done with 3 stars. I'm running recoil tree on all of them. So it's a very controlled environment. But I'm excited to check him out as a 6-star, see how that goes. And I'll just kind of leave that as a little tease. All right, let's go and start. So we're here for Guillotine. We're here for Guillotine. And so we've all read these before, right? And this one, I want to point this out because I think it's the champion designers who write them. I'm not positive on that. That's just my sense. Whoever did this one, they literally are like, here's how you play this champion. And they are pointing out, I think, a lot of the detailed analysis and why you would want to use different abilities and how to use them. And so I'm going to do a bit more reading than I normally do because I started highlighting all the stuff. If you've seen me do one of these before, I try to highlight it. And I try just to be like, hey, here's my theory. Here's some stuff I think that's important, as opposed to just reading it to you. And then I started highlighting it, and I was like, I'm highlighting the whole paragraph. So here we go. Let's get into it. This is the paragraph that we're going to kind of read. Hopefully you guys can see it too. I know not everyone sees. I know a lot of people just listen. So I will do my best to kind of read it here, and then we'll kind of continue with that theme. I have chat open, so I will look for questions. But I think for the most part, what I'm going to try to do is get through her abilities, and then we can have a discussion, kind of go back to it. All right, so Guillotine's mechanics, right? So she revels in blood of her enemies. There's the sword. The sword was talking to her. If you don't know her story, it's a pretty interesting story. So she has a chance of inflicting bleed debuff with each swipe. So every swipe has a chance to do it. Makes sense. She's got this massive sword. And that's going to be add attack boosting soul charges. So she's still going to have the soul charge mechanic. And this will help recover a percentage of her own health pool for each percentage of damage dealt. Keep in mind, and this will come in later, it is each percentage of damage dealt. So it's not just hits. It's going to include the debuffs that she can land. And I know you're thinking, debuffs? There's more than one? There is. All right. So if you're not inflicting enough bleeds, you can throw a heavy attack into the mix to cast a bleed curse. We'll go through this a bit more later. And then you're going to follow it up by a special attack. I know some of you who are really thinking this through and are quick on this stuff are thinking, can she cancel a heavy into a special? Yes, she can. So you're going to kind of do this heavy attack when you want to use it to get this bleed curse. You're going to cancel this heavy, follow it off with the special. And what's that going to do? It will guarantee you bleeds from each hit. As you're seeing, bleeds are a big deal. It's going to help you heal up, which is, I think, a large part of what she's intended to do. And I want to see that live before we make any final decisions on her. And then she has this mechanic of Unshackled, which can allow you to go unblockable with the specials. We'll get into that. And once each soul charge has been accrued, activate your special 3 to inflict a debilitating degeneration debuff. I do think that, just on this reading, I think that's going to be a large source of damage. And as we know, there's not a lot of champions who can deal with debuff. They do tend to be in the science class. So this is making a lot of sense. This is, I think, sticking with class relationships and things like that. All right, so let's go ahead and scroll on down. Something I did want to just kind of quickly point out is you see here, I think you guys can see the cursor, her attack at 6-star, this is a rank 3, is 3198. Just kind of keep that in mind. We'll go over that a bit more. So her basic abilities are bleed curse, Spectre, which is what I have talked about being something that I loved from her, that SP2, helping her deal with willpower. It is a unique way to deal with healing, and we're seeing that more and more come into the game. And then Degeneration. Strengths is high damage potential. I always like when I see them put that out there. That makes me feel a little more comfortable that this champion is, they're not going to necessarily be Sunspot or Ghost, but they're not going to be a noodle. It's not for sure. I'm sure we can go by and find some where it said this on there and then they turned out to be Psycho Man. But typically, I feel like this goes along, and I really feel like this one is really well written, and they're trying to tell us how to play this champion. And then buff heavy opponents, which is odd, right? Because she has no nullify or anything like that to get rid of buffs. But you'll see in here, opponents who utilize many buffs at one time will quickly rise their fall. Blah, blah, blah. We'll go over why that is as we move on down. Weaknesses, champions who are purifying, right? She's not going to be landing her bleeds. We saw the degen, and then there is another debuff that we'll get to that's going to be from her Sig ability. And then concussion, having a big metal sword. Okay, so don't fight Magneto. All right, moving on through abilities, this life siphon. And I really think, for me, just not to jump to the end here too much, this is going to be the big deal. This is what I will either rank her up or I will kind of hold off, is how much healing is this actually doing? Is this like Diablo level healing? Because if it is, I might be ranking this champion up very quickly. So it says Guillotine's going to heal 2% of all damage taken by the opponent. Keep in mind, when we're fighting these opponents, they typically have significantly larger health pools than we do. and it's all damage. So this includes the bleeds that you're putting on her, and the on them, and the degeneration. So in fact, as you can see, the developers note all damage. They really did take us through this well. So you're going to stack those bleeds and watch the health pool roll in. And remember, when you land your heavy, you're going to land that bleed curse too, which will be giving those, I think it was the critical hits or the guaranteed bleeds, right? Soul charge mechanic is still there, so it's going to max out at 15. Again, I know I'm doing a lot of reading, but I think this one's actually worth it on it. Each time either champion loses 5% of their health or is inflicted with the bleed debuff, you're going to gain one of these soul charges. The first 10 are indefinite, so you're going to get up to 10. Those are indefinite. And then each additional one, because remember, they can last up to 15. So each of those additional lasts for 10 seconds. That's also, I think, important to keep in mind about like how long you're potentially going to stay at these max charges. I want to see how that function works out really well in the game, but it seems like you'll be at this kind of max 10 at least for a while, at least 10 seconds. Sorry, I got a notification there. This is why I pointed out the attack rating previously. I think it was like 3,100. Each soul charge is going to grant almost 150. So at 10 of those, that's 1,500, which is basically 50% of her base attack. That's a pretty large increase, right? It's a pretty large increase. You're going to get these souls. You're going to be hitting a lot harder. And then there's going to be a little bit more you can do with them, as you're seeing here. At 10 soul charges, Guillotine becomes unshackled, right? So you're going to have this unshackled stance, let's call it, right? And this will enhance her special attacks until she's back below 6. Just keep in mind, we'll get to this a bit more. So the developers note, again, like I said, I really feel like the developers like, here's how you play her. Wait until Guillotine is at 10, then unleash her heavy special combo for maximum damage. So you're going to get her to 10, you're going to do the heavy, cancel that out, and then special based on, I think, which special it is that you want to throw based on the defender and what's going on in the fight. Critical hits have a chance to inflict a bleed debuff, so that's how you're getting these bleeds. They're causing, that's a sizable bleed over 5 seconds. Chance increases by a flat 5% for each buff. So going back, remember I was like, that's weird. She has no nullifier way to deal with buffs. Why are buff heavy champions going to be a strength of hers? Well, now you're seeing it. It's increasing her a chance to apply a bleed. They're saying it's a flat 5%. So that's going to grow significantly as these buffs are coming on the champion that you are fighting. Crit rate, they're saying that crit rate's important, but I think we kind of understand that, right? So you're going to want to maximize as much crit as possible because that's where you're going to get these bleeds from, and that's going to cycle through her whole kit there. All right, the heavy attack, 100% chance to inflict a 10-second bleed curse. This is that bleed curse we were talking about. An opponent with a bleed curse suffers a bleed debuff, causing a larger bleed over the same 5 seconds each time they are struck with a special attack. So again, heavy, cancel, special. I think you're getting it. They're saying Guillotine's heavy is incredibly important. Do not forget to use it before launching a special attack. They are hammering this point home, and I'm realizing how often I am now saying it as a result. All right, special attacks. This is where that unshackled comes from. Remember, we were talking about that. That's what, let's confirm it. That's when she gets the 10 soul charges, right? At 10 plus soul charges, she's going to become unshackled. So you are, sorry, hopefully I didn't make anyone car sick there. Special attacks, unshackled. Guillotine is passively unblockable during the attack. So that special attack is going to now be unblockable. I do think there are some defensive mechanisms in here that we want to be aware of. I do think this is one. Keep in mind, this means that when she gets to those 10 charges, she is going to go unblockable on the special. Her specials aren't overly difficult to evade, but it's something to be aware of when you fight her, especially because as the champion who you are used to fighting a different way, right? And then this is where, again, I really think this is defensive. Aiden, no, I do not believe any of the animations have changed. Is the special one, okay? So the final hit has a 100% chance to inflict a pain link debuff. It lasts 10 seconds. Any non-physical damage taken by Guillotine is inflicted on the opponent as physical damage. The way they're kind of saying this is, and you can see it in the developer's note, if you have some dots on you, maybe if you're running the recoil tree, something like that, you're now going to kind of, it's not a reflect. It's not a reflect because you're still going to take the damage, but you're going to be able to put some of that damage back onto the defender, which is nice, I guess. I'm struggling to think of when this is something you're really going to want to do. I think a lot of it has to depend too much on how much healing she's actually doing. Remember, we talked about that 2% of the damage they're taking, you're going to be healing. So we need to see how that's going to actually play out in the game. The one thing that's very obvious to me, or the thing that really jumps out, is this is a defensive mechanism. Because if you get hit by this, now it's similar to Mysterio in some ways, right? She's going to have this, and then if you're hitting into her, that's going to be coming back onto you. Not a good thing. And then keep in mind that when she's unshackled, so when she has those 10 souls, which she can build up to just by the course of the fight, I think it was every 5% of damage taken. So she will get there. She will get there if you're fighting her. It says here, this is why it's highlighted. She will spend 10 souls to apply an additional pain link debuff when launching the attack. So even if you evade it, if it does not hit you, you're still going to get this pain link debuff on you. Now remember, we're talking about fighting her now. So you're still going to get that on you. You're going to want to be aware of it. I think you can play around it, right? Like just parry, or you're just going to have to play around it. It's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt, but I think we'll adjust to it pretty well. And it's a bit of an additional thing to be aware of when fighting her. Aiden, you know what? We've been asking. I'm waiting for an answer on that. Let's get to the end of this and then remind me of it. And I'll ask you. I'll see if they've actually answered. They may have. All right. So the special 2, this was always my favorite, right? But I don't think it's necessarily the best one to use unless you're dealing with healing. But the final hit still has a 100% chance to inflict the Spectre, which is very cool, reducing regeneration rate by 200%. So I still like that. I'm glad they kept that in there. That's it's nostalgic, and it also is effective. If unshackled, she'll spend the 10 souls for when it's first activated. So that's cool, right? That's similar to the SP1. And then the SP3, I think this is the one a lot of us were talking about. I've seen a couple questions on this already. Coup de grace, right? 100% chance to inflict a degeneration debuff, which we are seeing more come into the game. We talked about this. Science champions are able to handle this better, which again fits with class relationships. It's going to cause this direct damage over 3 seconds. It's consume all sword charges to increase the degeneration damage. Duration, by 3 seconds. So you're still going to want to build up to your 10 heavy, throw into this SP3 is the way I'm seeing it. I really want to see it work out in game, and you're going to do a pretty sizable degen damage there. So I'm pretty excited to see that work out. And this is on top of all that bleed damage. Now, I know a lot of us are thinking like, oh, that's cool, but I'm not seeing a ton of utility, and there are bleed immune champions in the game. This is where the signature ability is now coming in. Whenever the opponent is immune to Guillotine's personal bleed effects, she has a 100% chance. Remember, I'm always a little wary of 100% stuff, but I think the way this would work out, it's going to be just fine. To inflict a matching rupture. So you're now going to be landing that rupture debuff, which we're seeing more and more in the game, causing physical damage. This rupture debuff grants 1 soul charge. So it looks like it's going to work almost exactly the same as the bleed. Very, very cool. And then they're even saying her awakened signature ability grants her effectiveness against large bleed of bleed immune opponents and is incredibly important to her kit. We'll go over the synergies really quick, and then I think we can have like a nice discussion, because I do want to answer the questions I'm seeing, and we can kind of talk about it. And it's good to get what is like the hive mind on these, on ways that we think we can utilize these champions. The synergy bonuses, now remember, these are the ones that are native to her. These are the ones that are native to her, not the ones that have been added after the fact. But I'm not seeing anything that's like overly exciting. Remember, she came into this game pretty early, so it's not unusual for the synergies that are native to her to look like this. It's not really a surprise. They're recommending recovery, which makes sense, right? It seems like a big part of what she's going to do is this healing back, staying topped off, that kind of thing. And then the crits are a big deal. They've mentioned that multiple times. Anything you can do to increase your critical damage is going to be really helpful. And then they're saying glass cannon. I mean, it makes sense. Like, do more damage is good. All right. So that's it. Let me see if they've answered the question on the synergy there. I'm not seeing an alert, so I have a feeling that it hasn't been answered. Yeah. So the synergy with Purgatory, we're still not. There's not been a confirmation on that. So unfortunately, we can't confirm that. Obviously, if that stays in the game, that would be a really big deal. For those who are not totally sure what that is, here, let me find it and I will read it, and why this would be such a big deal for the guillotine we're talking about is bleed triggered by critical hits have a chance to be critical bleed. So this would up her damage significantly because she would now have a chance to have critical bleeds. So that would be a really good thing. And then I feel like Purgatory also did something for Mystic Champions, if I remember correctly. Oh, no, it's for Dimensional Beings. Dimensional Beings. No, it's for Magic. It was helpful to Magic. So, all right, let's go ahead and look at some of the questions. So the SP3 no longer takes out huge chunks of damage. That's the only reason I liked her. Yeah, that has been removed. So she doesn't have that ability. I think it's Purgatory who also has that, where they take out a guaranteed portion of it. When is 7.3 coming? I think Jacob's right. I do think it is next month. Seems a bit underwhelming. Sand, I gotta be honest, I was very excited for this buff because of my nostalgic feelings on her to begin with. I'm not seeing something that's making me want to rank her for my account. I have bleed champions. I like my Mystic champions to deal with power or buff somehow, not necessarily get stronger because of them. So yeah, I'm with you. I do really like that if you have her at a high sig, you also have a champion who's applying those rupture debuffs. I do like that. Well, I should say, you're only applying those if they're bleed immune. It's not like you get to choose either or. So I think this is more of it's a nice add-on more than it is a nice additional thing. I'm not sure I phrased that well, but I think you're going to get my point. What's up, Knight? Not seeing any reason to choose her over another champ. That's how I feel. That's honestly how I feel at the moment, too. What's up, Jacob Sigler? Love being able to catch a stream. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Her healing looks unmatched. Wade, yeah, I think that's going to be a massive thing for her. Is if her healing is allowing her to, I don't want to go too far, but let's say you're able to run the recoil tree, the suicides with her. I don't think you're throwing a lot of specials here. So I don't think you're worrying about recoil too much. And if that 2% is allowing you to deal with the poison and the bleed, then I think this is an interesting champion. I think this is an interesting champion that people are going to want to play. And remember, a lot of these buffs are meant to pull away the pain of the pool, right? Like Colossus used to be a meme. Now he became a very good champion, but I think the point of I think the point of a lot of these buffs was to be like, okay, let's remove that pain of pulling them, of them being like, there's no use for this champion. Why would you ever rank them up? I think it's clear there's a use for her now. It's just how much, right? Air guns. Yeah, this is live. What's up, buddy? And we will do 7.2, some 7.2 after this. I got to work through that. Aiden, a lot of these buffs have been one of those situations where it's like they're decent, but insane with one or more synergies. I thought the characters would be better on their own. Yeah, you know, a couple of those, they haven't necessarily bothered me, but I've wanted to make sure I take them with a grain of salt, like Crossbones. Crossbones is my favorite example of this. Is when he came out, I saw a lot of really cool videos, and they were cool. So that's great. Like, I watch them too. I like cool videos on YouTube. But then I'd be like, oh, it included the MCoC synergy. So if you whaled out and you got MCoC from Cav Crystals, or you grinded the arena to get MCoC, who is not good, now you can make Crossbones amazing. So I don't love that. I would prefer it if the synergies were also with older champions who more people had, because I think that, again, would help take away the pain from pulling these champions, right? But, you know, I don't know. I don't know. It's also easy to always pick one situation. Like Crossbones is the one that always comes to mind for me, because it was, how many people have MCoC? Like, very few, especially at that time. Happy Tuesday was such a thing. It's possible. Taco Tuesday? Do they have Taco Tuesday where you're at? Tacos make everyone happy, right? All right. I got her as a 6-star, but I don't use her. Was hoping for a great buff. Yeah, air guns, man. I mean, I hate to be the downer here, but I always go with the truth. I am not seeing someone who I am, you know, I'm not like, oh, I'm so glad I got tier 5 CC in Mystic, because it is going to Guillotine. That's not what I'm seeing. I'm open to the idea. I'm wrong. I also think this is definitely a champion. We're going to have to see how she plays in game. How is that heal going to actually function? Jacob, that's your take as well. It doesn't mean the buff is bad. Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agreed. I will say this, though. This is one we voted on. I think because it was a champion vote, and we saw what we got with Hercules, I was expecting a bit more here. Now, that might be because I have nostalgic feelings on this champion, but I was expecting more when I saw these abilities. I was a little deflated. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to say it, but I think that's obvious. I am in the CCP, which is why I had access to this information as early as I did. True potential. I think she will decent, but SB3, so I think that's a big deal too, right? You take away something that people enjoyed about a champion. We've seen how that plays out. It typically does not play out well. So I think your response is not only justifiable, I think it's not surprising. Like if they had taken away the Spectre from the SP2, I would have been really bothered. I don't know if I would have made a big deal about it because I don't really use her, but it would have bummed me out. But there you go. And there's Undermother saying excited for this buff. Already fun to play. I agree. So it's a game, man. And if you're having fun with it, rank them up. Just make sure you're having fun the next day. That's always my little contingency on the hey, it's all pure fun. AR Zahi, what's up, man? Thanks for all the comments you make on the videos. I really appreciate it. What's going to happen to the synergies other champions have with her, excluding Purgatory, because you already talked about that. You know what, dude? I don't know. There was not a lot of information on that. There was some talking back and forth about some of the synergies. All I can say is they're looking into it. When that information comes out, I will definitely put it out on my Discord. And I'll do our best. I apologize for not having an answer. I still use crossbones without mana gun in P4 Wars and stuff, but yeah, I get your point. Definitely. Exactly. And thanks for saying you get the point, because crossbones is good. I have a crossbones. I'm very excited that I have him. I believe I will eventually rank him up. And it was Munosh. I think Munosh did some videos without MCoC and showed how awesome crossbones can be. I'm pretty sure it was Munosh. Astro generally seems like what an X23 buff would look like. I hadn't thought of that, but that's a really good point. Especially if the healing is good. Damage might look good, but it said she lacks utility. Neil, I agree with you. And I'm at the point in the game, and I don't mean that as far as I'm an in-game player, so I'm here. I mean more like just in my evolution of this game, I'm getting more and more excited about utility as long as the baseline damage is good. If the baseline damage is good, I'm a happy camper. I want that utility, though, as opposed to the massive damage dealer with very little utility. She should have gotten a Diablo level buff. She's Kiam creation. She should be better. I agree with you, man. But I agree for a variety of reasons. But we've also seen how much. Can we say crap? I think we can say crap. How much crap they get when they have a Kabama original champion be really good. So not everyone agrees. That again, that's not that's not shade. That's just not everyone agrees. Tacos, one of these Tuesdays, redeeming qualities. There you go, man. You got to find the silver linings. Sebastian, so she sucks? No, I don't think she sucks, dude. I don't think she sucks. Looking at this, on my tier rankings, if you're familiar with my tiers, I would put her at premium, which is very good. That's a champion that's worthy of ranking. That's a champion that's going to do things for you in this game. And if you enjoy them, rank them up. Or if you have a particular use for them, rank them up. In fact, I'm currently going through decision making on my next tech rank 3 champion. Put out a video on it today. It's going to be a bit of a series where I'm going over, here's how I evaluate these sorts of things. And here's what I look for, because it's not always rank the best champion. If you always just rank the best champion, there's a chance you're going to end up with a bunch of champions who all do the same things. And then when you need a certain utility for a fight, you're not going to have anyone that can do it. So I keep that in mind. Just sub bro, dude, thank you so much. You probably missed it earlier. I was talking about people watch and comment. I have good friends who I've played this game for years. That hasn't happened in a while, who are like, dude, I haven't been subbed, I'm really sorry. And I'm like, no worries, man. You're watching, you're hitting the thumbs up, you're commenting. Thank you so much, and I appreciate the sub. It is helpful. It really is. The rupture is a good touch, like X23 gaining cruelty against bleed. Yeah, and we saw that analogy. So I think it was Astro who said that. It makes a lot of sense to me. Campo's here. What is up, Campo? How you doing, dude? How's the AA grind going, man? Are you sticking with it? Wade, one thing I noticed is SPG will also remove percentage from opponent along with unshackled kill hits. It might be a very long degen. Yeah, oh, Wade, I mean, there are players who are I'm going to call them better at really seeing a champion's kit and being like, here's how you play him. And it seems like you might be one of them. I follow you on Twitter and I see some of your videos, and I've seen you do some real nuanced stuff. So that would not be surprising. And I think that would make a lot of sense too, right? Because the special one seems pretty defensive. The 2 is clearly for dealing with heals. It would make sense if they removed the big damage from the SP3, if they still kind of gave you a nibble, right? They're not going to just like completely remove it as the damage one. They're like, all right, here's what you're going to do. You're going to build up all these I can't think of her charges, whatever. You're going to heavy. You're going to throw that, cancel it into the SP3, and you're going to kill the opponent. I would love that. I would love it. A fun champ, but getting hood vibes good, but not a go-to. Yeah, man. Yeah. I think we're on the same page. Although Panda Man Pete's been showing me some really cool hood stuff lately. So, but that's a different story. Half percentages of other champs are about soul duration. They're irrelevant for how. Yep, I agree with you, Aiden. I asked because that was one of the most common suggestions people had for buffing Gilly was to add her synergy into her kit. So I was wondering whether they took that into consideration. I don't know. There wasn't a lot of information on what they took into consideration. Vegas tastes have become more refined, is what he's trying to say. Jacob, thank you, and thank you for. I was definitely not trying to say. That kind of elitist in-game player BS that we hear sometimes. Grind is slow. Oh, the AA grind is slow and steady. I'm a little behind, but units might pull me through. Units, they're always the solution that none of us like going to. So many typos with the phone. Aragons, I make typos all the time, man. I think I'm getting good at reading through them. I think. I don't know. All right. So I think we're going to jump in. It seems that, OG Highland, what is up, man? It seems that Thor got the better of the buffs. I think they're really different. And I think with Thor, Thor's a unique scenario, which is why I did the video, and I did the video the way I did. Is Thor is this champion that people want to rank up knowing he's not good because of the prestige. And so I think evaluating him, I wanted to take a bit different form, like a different lens to it, because the priorities were different. Gilly's someone you're going to rank up because you think they're good, or you enjoy playing her, or like me, you have nostalgic feelings towards her. I'm not seeing her having a utility that's like, oh, I really need this. Like, I need to apply ruptures to bleed immune champions. That does not exist in this game. And if that node comes out, that's pretty screwed up. Where Thor is a champion, people were actively, like almost daily, asking in some sort of chat, should I rank up Thor because I want to move to a higher AQ alliance, or I want to move up to higher war, but I need higher prestige because they do higher AQ. And so I wanted to evaluate Thor from a different lens. And so as a result, yeah, I think there's more reason to rank Thor than there is to rank Gilly. Would be, if I take 2 or 3 minutes to answer it. What's up, Fluffy? Deepak, how you doing? Thor Rag's going to be as good as Moment? No. No, I don't think so. I think you're going to see some very cool videos with Thor. I think you're going to see him stun locking the heck out of an opponent and doing massive, massive damage. But that's not the majority of the game. That there's not a lot of times where you can do that. Now, I'm open to the idea I'm wrong. If we see people taking Thor Rags into war, into, if Grandmaster's Gauntlet comes back and you see him doing that kind of stuff, hey, I was wrong. I'm very comfortable being wrong there, but I'd much rather undershoot a champion than overshoot him when I'm giving my advice to you all. I think I said hey to Fluffy. If I did not, hey Fluffy, how you doing, buddy? All right, back to work. Thanks for stopping by, Airguns. Really appreciate it. Jacob. Hey, you called yourself the elitist in-game player, not me. Yeah, that was a self-imposed one. Carnoxy, what's up? I'm a little late to the party. How does it go? I think it looks solid. If I had to put her into a tier list now, I'd put her into my premium tier, which means she's going to have some uses. I could see why people don't want to rank her, but I don't think you're like jumping for joy on this. All right, let's go ahead and Maurice, I'd rather wait for gameplay before assuming which buff was better. People see fancy thumbnails and decide champs are trash, which is exactly why I don't do fancy thumbnails. That's exactly why. Just kidding. But yeah, I agree. I think you have to wait for the gameplay. I think with Gilly, how much is she healing? I think with Thor, how much damage is he actually doing in that kind of stun lock, and how reliable is the stun lock? Is it 100%? Are you getting that down? And what is the health pool that you're able to destroy? If it is a large health pool, then that's pretty cool. Because if you can stun lock someone, all of a sudden a lot of nodes don't matter so much. If you can't stun lock them until they're dead, then you have a champion who you did a lot of damage with, but you're going to die to an SB3 too. So I agree. You got to see the gameplay. Pika, what is up? Great to see you here. Carrick, wish Ant-Man would have won. Yeah, I know. So many of us enjoy Ant-Man, 1 for the movies, 2 because they just like the champion because of comics and things like that. And then also, like, anyone who helps buff Ghost is nice, right? Fluffy, I'm going to R4 Gilly now with help. I love you. Dude, you are awesome. I love it. If anyone... I love Fluffy and his videos and the whole take on the game. Oh, you're kidding? All right, well, it's still funny. I'm excited for it. I love him. I'll have everyone except Purgatory as 6-star. Yeah, and so that's it too, right? And we don't see those synergies. It could be interesting once we see the synergies that come in towards her that are from the other champions and like a whole Gilly line. I'd be very excited to see that. I want to see that coming in. Vega, I'm not shy about admitting the truth. Jacob, you are many things, my friend, and honest is one of them. All right, let's go ahead and play this game. Let's play this game. Make sure I close the right things here. I almost accidentally closed out OBS, which would have been bad. That would have been bad. We do not want to do that. Let's play this game. Did a lot of talking. Got to drink a little water. All right. There's the game we know and love. Rest in peace, Guillotine's lifesteal. Nerf Groot. Groot is overpowered. Needs to be nerfed. Needs to be nerfed now. Let's get some likes. Yeah, that would be cool. I always appreciate that. There's just stuff, man. That's always weird for me is I've gone through phases where like in a video, I'll say pretty early, like, don't forget to like and subscribe. And then I'll not do it. And I honestly don't really notice the difference as far as like people subscribing or liking. I don't know. In fact, actually, do you guys care? I don't really care. And maybe that's because I now do YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. When I see someone doing that, you know, if they do like a 40-minute thing, I'm like, or 40-second thing, I'm like, okay, that was a bit much. But if they just quickly say like, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe, it's really helpful. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I get it. But I'm curious if everyone else feels the same way. All right, so we're going to be taking on this intravenous. Intervention villainous. So when a villain attacker knocks down the defender, they have a 100% chance to apply intervention. Thank you for subscribing, Juan. I appreciate it. On the attacker, if the attacker reaches 3 of these, they are consumed and the defender gains a fury buff. All right, so if I do this 3 times, the defender's going to get this fury buff. Villains are the only ones that can gain power, and then it has power shield. I will probably find a way to make this lane look difficult, but I don't know. We'll see. Vega, thoughts on Nimrod? Have a tech tier 5 CC and units for calves. Wants to know if it's worth it on Thursday. So Aiden, I'll just do that's like my usual disclaimer. I think calves are literally never worth it unless you're purely wanting to have fun. You honestly might as well take that money and put it, if you have sports betting, it's now legal in the state you live on, bet on a game. Because at least then you have a chance to win the money back. And if you bet on a game, you get 3 hours of enjoyment, right? If it's NFL football. Calves, they like literally, I like popping, I believe in popping. You have that 10 seconds. That being said, okay, so if you've decided it's fun, I want to do it, I like Nimrod. And I think the awakened ability is going to be really helpful to increasing his damage. And that's where the guy doesn't necessarily need help, but that's going to be really important. It's not like increasing Sunspot's damage, right? You're like, oh, he's already got plenty. Nimrod, from what I can tell in my initial testing and how I'm working through it, I really like him. He is a mutant slayer. There's some mutants, though, because he does energy damage, where it's an odd interaction. But he's a mutant slayer, and I'm liking him. Right now, I'm really leaning towards him being my next tech R3. He's kind of the default, and all these other champions I'm testing kind of have to beat him, is the way I'm looking at it. What's up, Simula? Thanks for stopping by, dude. Fluffy wants Gilly to be great. I want Thor to be great. Time will tell. I hope Thor's great. So many people have spent so much in-game resource trying to and I'm realizing I'm not sure if I brought in a good option for this fight. Let's see how Hood does. So many people put in a lot of resources attempting to have doing something good for their alliance, right? Or trying to move up in AQ or war. I would like for that champion that they ranked to be a quality champion that they at a minimum enjoy playing, and that they at least enjoy playing. All right, let's go ahead and try this with Hood. If it doesn't go well, I actually might back out and bring in Mole Man for the synergy. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. I haven't played Hood in a while. Oh, okay, so I'm starting off invisible, which I guess I should have known. Standard Venom doesn't want to throw his special. I punished that late. This really isn't the best for Hood, though. I mean, it should be fine. Because Hood really is about detonating that heavy. The miss mechanic sure was cool there, though. I enjoyed that. All right, Venom, come on. Yeah, you just kind of got to get into your inner Hood and use that miss mechanic a bit more, I think, is the key to playing him. All right, try to bait this special. Oh, the heavy still did the big damage. I was not expecting that. I'm curious. I was going to look up and have half of you all saying, like, no, the heavy will still do the big damage. The heavy will still do the big damage. Did you all know that that would still happen? Why would that happen? Hey, Vega, do you think Thor and Gilly will be good? I don't know. It's all going to come down to how much healing Gilly can do, and if Thor can dish out enough damage to kill the defender before they reach an SB3. Is my thinking on that. Bottom line, I want all the champs to be great. I want Iron Fist to be great. I want I do want them all to be good. What I don't like is all the hate towards the Thor buff. Did we expect King or Mole Man to be buffed to make them OP when we read it? We've only become... Oh, is he getting a lot of hate? You know what's funny is, like, I guess I'm just not reading those sort of things enough. I know Mike put out a video, but I haven't seen too much else. I haven't done. You haven't? No, I have not done. There's a lot of 7.2 I have not done yet. I gotta get on it. I gotta get on it. I feel judged. I get judged all the time, my friend. So, thank you. And I want to work on my ghost skills. As a recent owner, can I say that? Yeah, of Kitty Pride, I have reinterested in my ghosting. Let's see how this goes. Is that still bugged, or did I just mistime the phase there? think there was a bug where she was still taking recoil damage, even with the hood synergy. I think I saw Buddy Lee is here. What's up, buddy? Oh, that's not going to do it, huh? All right. And yes, I did pull Fury. In fact, I pulled him, I awakened him with a skill gem, which I don't regret. And then I pulled him again recently in a cav crystal. What are you gonna do? Buddy, so a 300,000 fight with Guillotine, she will regen 6,000 health if I'm reading correctly. Not gonna make her crazy regen damage mastery friendly though. So that's one of the things I was talking about, buddy, is if you're using the recoil tree masteries, right, is she going to sustain herself enough to deal with that? Especially if you're just really kind of building to the SB3. I think if there's that, I think that's a whole nother use for this champion, or I could see people enjoying using her for that reason. But yeah, the math is not adding up to... I don't think it's Diablo level healing. Let's put it that way. You're encouraged to use Thor at SB1, but it makes sense for the SB2 to reach for the lower power gain faster. So true potential. That's where, like, I think we're gonna have to play this out, and it makes sense. I think with Thor, you're gonna try to build up to the 40 combo. If you bring in Proxima, you've got it down to 30. You're gonna throw that SP3, and then I think my sense was you're gonna then go to town with the SP1 and try to just stun lock. But yeah, you're right. If in a fight where you can't do that, it's not like you have to. There's other things you can do. And a couple of people commented that I think it was Toffrey, that the SB2, the armor break doesn't seem bad off of that. So I think the hate is only the fact that the base kit is essentially the same. Thought the awakening ability is actually quite different now, as Moon of the Gods is native to the unduped champ. Yeah, I am happy, but I get why people wanted more. Like, I wanted more out of Guillotine. I'm disappointed in it. I was hoping for a champion that I was going to be incredibly excited to rank up, and that's not what I'm seeing. That's not what I'm seeing. So, I get it. Thanks, Kirik. I was so pumped when I pulled him. I think it was 4th of July. Yeah, that's what it was. It was the 4th of July deals. And my opening was actually really bad. We had a lot of people on call. It was a lot of fun. But I was not getting amazing pulls. Wow, this is not fun. I never really enjoyed playing Mags. Like, when he first came out, the whole ridiculousness of him was exciting. And then that died down pretty fast. But now, playing any champion that just relies on parry and heavy with the state of the game, like right there, I mean, you guys are seeing it. It is really, any enjoyment that was there is now completely gone. But he's so good. Here we are. Hey, Captain America. Are you talking to me? I haven't heard that one. I like it. Am I the only one underwhelmed by both buffs so far? No, Tom, it seems like a lot of people are. I'm a little underwhelmed with Gilly, but a lot of that's because of my own, how I went into it. I was hoping for a pretty awesome buff. So that's on me. As someone who's not invested in Thor, I still have not ranked Thor. I still don't believe I will rank Thor. I saw it more as like, hey, this is a cool gift to people who have, or to people who are looking to move up. I'm glad they don't have to rank a crap champion now. So I think it's all the perspective you took into it, what you're anticipating, right? Naveed, what's up, dude? I'd like Kabam to buff certain good champs that lack in a certain category to make them even better. For example, giving Mojo more block proficiency or Red Guardian extra debuff duration. I hear you, man. I mean, so again, I think that's just like where you are, where you're starting off. I personally like Mojo. And I know that maybe I'm a bit of an outlier. If you've ever seen one of my tier rankings, I wish all of the champions fit somewhere on that board. I would then be satisfied. It's always tough though. Like my favorite, I was so excited about her, America Chavez, coming into the game, and she's just not very good. Like she's just not. There's some uses for her. I soloed the Summer of Pain Ghost with her. I think it took me 12 minutes. I think it was 12 minutes, or the video was 12 minutes, and I can't talk a lot. So, and then some other people were like, "Oh, I did a solo with Ghost." It was like a minute. It was like a minute long. And that was a fight that she wasn't amazing for, because I think that Ghost was stun immune, if I remember correctly. But there was some power gains that America Chavez can reverse or work with. So, like, it wasn't a terrible fight for her. It wasn't like I was force fitting something. So, yeah. All right. Who am I using for this? What was I thinking here? This is where it may get ugly, folks. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. All right. Sometimes I forget how good Hood's Backdraft Light is. All right. I don't remember Super Scroll's heavies at all. I know no one will feel badly for me, but this is one of the few negatives to having a ranked up Archangel. Again, I expect no sympathy. But when you have a ranked up Archangel, sometimes you don't learn how to properly fight a champion. And that may be what has happened with me here. Yeah, I didn't expect that to be too big. Oh, yeah. I set myself up for that. Should have gone invisible before I threw the heavy, and in a variety of things. Let's see if we can ghost this guy. Or, yeah, let's see if we can ghost him. I had a choice of Diablo and Gilly. I went with Gilly. Oh, no. I am sorry to hear that. I mean, let's see, though. Let's see. You know, I say that. Maybe her healing will be great. And you'll be okay. Did we know, was Diablo's buff live when you made that choice? I'm curious. I know it took a while for everyone to realize how good he is. All right. When I looked at this, I did not think Super Scroll was going to be where I needed help. Jesus. All right. There you go. That's how you die to Super Scroll. Yeah, buddy. Clearly, I don't know how to fight Super Scroll. I think I just got messed by it right there. Like I said, I usually just use Archangel, and that's the problem. That's why you don't want to do that. If Work is listening, he's like, told you so. That's one of Work's like favorite things, is that people often don't learn how to fight a champion because of having an overpowered option. And he's right. Yeah, so there we go. There's Vigilance. I'm seeing that now. This guy's kind of legit annoying. Now he's got the power gain. And then you got to work around this falter debuff. Still going to try to work up to the SP2 though. His SP2 is not fun to evade, so I'm going to bait his SP1. Now we've got to deal with his power gain again. Let's see if this can end it. Cool. Viva Las Vegas. I like it. Mojo's healing isn't great, but it reapplies itself over and over again. It also gets stronger the less life he has. I think a lot of people don't realize that. So with Mojo, there's a little bit of learning to play on the edge. If you can play on the edge, you're going to be just fine. That might be just you, Vega, though I do understand what you mean, since most of the time, champs have been bosses. The first thing I check is if they are bleed and poison immune. Yeah, dude, but I mean, hey, I'm always going to be honest, and I'm going to admit, like, that wasn't pretty. That was not pretty. And I've fought him in war a few times, but I think, again, I was using Archangel. And that just can mask a lot of things, right? It's like Corvus and his invulnerability. Right. I will also say, speaking of Ultron, this guy has been growing on me like crazy. I have not even gotten out a rank 3 video on him yet. We did kind of go over his SIG a little bit, but I did awaken him also recently. This was all trying to hunt Kitty Pryde, which did eventually go well, but it took a while. It took a while longer than I had wanted. Let's just say that. And awakening him, now that I awakened, I didn't want to use a gem to awaken him, but now that I have him awakened, I am considering putting stones into him. I think he's that good. And I think the awakened ability allows for a significantly more utility that I'd be excited to kind of play around with. Buddy, so actually, Buddy, if you're still there, which I realize you might not be, dude, Ultron's pretty awesome, but I definitely understand. Buddy and I were kind of talking offline. What you're saying, and I really agree with it. When looking at rank ups, you got to look at like what does your account actually need? What's going to benefit your account, and who you're actually going to play. And so when you have certain champions, like it just doesn't make sense to almost like double up on them, even though champion A may objectively be better than champion B. It doesn't make sense for you to have basically two versions of champion A. I am moving the game; just seems a little slow right now. Jacob, so that was so long ago, and I will freely admit my game knowledge was, I don't even know what percentile of what it is now, but it was a lot less. When I read Ghost's abilities, I was so incredibly excited. In fact, I had kind of stopped hunting champions for a while, and then Ghost caused me to hunt champions again. This was as a 5-star. I got her as a 5-star, and she kind of helped me stay in my alliance at that time. I think I was in WoW. Yeah, I had to have been in WoW. And so just kind of like the evolution of my play and my play time and how much time I had and whatever, I would go through these spurts where I'd get really into war, I'd get better at the game, and then I'd just get really busy with other things in life. And so my war skills would deteriorate significantly. And if I remember it correctly, I was kind of on one of those downward slopes. And I had a couple alliances. I've played the game with some people for a lot over years, but I would at times just leave the alliance, or I'd go to like an AQ focused alliance because I couldn't war at their level. And she helped me stay in it. And I still have videos on my phone. In fact, if you see my like intro, like this stream loading, Ghost is in there quite a bit. It was like some of my first boss solos and things like that. I love Ghost. Loved her. Never learned how to play her at that like amazing level, but I'd like to get back there. I'd like to get back there actually, which is kind of part of what I'm hoping to do in 7.2. All right. Let's see if I can get to. I know. This is not going to be fun. Oh man, this is not going to be fun. Vega, best value to lineup versus greatest individual champ value. Absolutely agree, man. Absolutely agree, Knight. Buddy, yeah, exactly. Vega Doc has some specific tools. I also think Doc Ock is very good, though, and I'm sure you would agree. I think he's very good. And I could see a player like you doing really awesome things with him. For someone who like doesn't seem that complicated, he is actually, I think, relatively complicated. Rose, have a 6 tech gem, Penny Parker, Silver Centurion, or Nimrod. Rose, I know it's going to sound like I'm trying to get a view here, and I swear I am not. So I mentioned it briefly earlier. I'm currently going through a tech like rank up figuring it out. I'm sure there was a better word for it than what I just said. And I was very much, when going into this process, it was going to be Nimrod or Penny Parker. And I saw a cool War Machine video that I did link in that video that I just put out today. And I was like, well, I'll test War Machine 2. He is good. I'm impressed by what he's doing. And then just on kind of like a whim, I was like, you know what? I have a buddy. His name's Strands. He's showed us some really cool Silver Centurion stuff. I think B. Manny and my Alliance has Silver Centurion. Like, some of the stuff looks really cool. I don't fully understand what's going on. And I've started playing Silver Centurion. He's really good. He is really good. Before I could feel comfortable giving you like a full answer, I would want to play him more. I would want to, mainly I've been messing around with 6 stars at a low level where they're a bit overpowered. I've been messing around with my 3 stars. But I am very intrigued to test Silver Centurion more, and I hope to kind of have a decision made within the next week. I'm sorry that's not more helpful. If you're talking about Awakening, Penny makes a lot of sense because it completely opens up a whole new ability with her heal blocks. And I think that's going to be a really big deal to Penny being a champion that you want to use. I've been playing her unawakened, and I got to be honest, I'm really underwhelmed. It feels like I'm just constantly trying to move a champion defender over a bar of power and then hopefully they're incinerate immune and I can land a huge incinerate. It's fine. She has some really unique immunities, but I think it's that awakened ability which is going to help Penny be someone who you're using more and more and more. So I hope that was helpful. I really like Nimrod. His awakened ability is going to help him a lot because I think it increases the duration and the potency of his debuffs and the abilities he gains, which is a big deal. As you look through his specials, you're going to see that. So yeah, sorry I can't be more definitive for you there. I'm literally going through that exact thought process myself. My Silver Centurion's not awakened, my Nimrod's not awakened, and neither is my Penny Parker. And whoever I rank to rank 3, I'm probably going to awaken them too. All right, let's go ahead and get back into this. I don't really got a lot left here. I don't think Apocalypse would be able to do this. So I don't really want to back out because I want to just get through these. So we'll go ahead and revive. And I would think that Hood would be able to handle this for me. Let's see. Jacob was also on the Centurion train. Those passive shots when he is awakened are a lot more potent than a certain champion. A certain champion who also has passive shots. I will start playing the game, but I want to address this with Jacob, especially if Rose is still here. There is so much in Centurion's kit, which is why I want to play him more and stress test it, because there's so much in there, dude, that I'm wondering how he holds up as health pools grow. Does he reach a point where you're kind of almost having to start all over? I'm trying to think of a good analogy for this, but there's champions like this where, let's think of Thor. If Thor can kill in that stun lock, dude, you're set. But if you have to start the whole process over and the process is difficult, you're probably going to end up dying. I'm curious about that with Silver Centurion because there's so much there, and the passives from the awakened ability are a really big deal. I fought it was either, I think it was a Mole Man and a Kingpin. And I saw the benefit of it significantly. And to have it on a tech champion that also has 2 forms of a heal block and a slow debuff, that's pretty cool. And he is immune when he has the armor up to bleed, and I think it's shock. He has a really interesting pairing there, which is pretty cool. Like I said, Silver Centurion is... I'm almost more excited about him than Nimrod at the moment, but I think a lot of that, again, is the perspective I brought into it. I assumed Nimrod was just going to dominate. I expected nothing from Silver Centurion, so I think that's playing into it. Jacob, do you kind of agree with what I was saying there? Like I said, I'm pretty early on it. Here we go. All right, let's try to play this game. I'm sure it's clear to everyone. I cannot stand fighting Annihilus. mainly because I always mess up that. That should make it a lot better. Now that we've gotten to that point. Oh, well, I got pretty lucky there. I do need him to throw a special, though. And that was not a good idea. Oh, misplaying this so bad. This is like a don't dap it up video all in one. I should have just laid off. One, I shouldn't have thrown that to send him red. Then when I did, I should have laid off on one of the power steals. Apparently he still does not want to throw a special. I don't know why. There we go. He's finally going to throw a special. Whew, that was fun. Jacob, you do think I was pretty spot on? Yeah, and I found that the damage actually wasn't bad, too. Like, once he had the plasmas up, the medium felt like it was doing some pretty good work. I'm surprised I'm still alive. There you go. That is how you fight a nihilist, folks. Thanks. Definitely wrong about her. Exactly what people said about Mole Man before the buff dropped. Devate, are you talking about Penny? I'm curious who you're talking about, buddy. Because I think you're talking about Penny. And I'd be curious. I'm always open to the idea I'm wrong. Hood, #1 Mystic Champ confirmed. Look at that, man. Do you see him? He can tank SP3s. No, he can't. That's not true. That is not true. Should I bring in another champion for this? Yeah, might as well. Let's bring in Penny. All right. After Hood's SP3, he stayed in monster mode. I kind of like Hood. I understand why people do not like his buff. I do get it. I think the bullet mechanic, I think it's a bit confusing. I don't think it's super intuitive. Like, I don't think you read the abilities and you have the ability to just know how it's going to work out. I think you have to play them a lot. And with a buff champion, or really any champion, I know that a lot of us are like, I don't feel like dealing with that. Also, it feels like the Mole Man synergy, if you want Hood to be the standalone, like he's your questing guy, the Mole Man synergy was really helpful. I viewed Hood more as a, hey, literally the fight you just saw, actually. Like, I don't want to take that with Ghost. This isn't going to work out well with her. I need a Mystic. Cool. I've got a powerful Mystic that I was already bringing along anyway. And so, again, perspective. It's what is this, like the 5th time this has come up in the stream? Because my perspective was like, hey, cool, this person that I bring along with Ghost just potentially got better. I was like, oh, cool, whatever happened was great. Whereas if you really wanted Hood to be good, or if like was, you know, some really awesome people in our community who were using Hood as a questing champion, they had very specific uses for him, I could see why they might not be happy with the buff. You know, there's no right or wrong. There's just, where was your perspective to start off with? Has anyone ever asked if Vega wears pants while he streams? Definitely positions the camera to ensure there's no below the waist shots. Stink. You think this is like, was it those news where they show them, they get up and they're just in their boxers? Oh, you mean the animation of staying in the demon thingy? Yeah, that actually would be really cool. That would be really cool. I would like that. Mr. Belding. What is up, dude? What would you not do? I'm curious. I'm very curious. Stink asking the real hard-hitting questions. You know, I was actually asked to do if I would do a podcast, be interviewed for a podcast. And I think I'm going to do it. I've listened to the podcast a few times, and I really like these guys. One in particular, Jay Axe, is a cool channel. I just enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. But I've realized I have no idea what these people are going to ask me. and their interviews are like 45 minutes to an hour long. Like that is a lot. That is a long time. So if I hopefully no pants questions get asked. I wouldn't wear pants when streaming. Yeah, but here's the thing. What if I have to get up? What if something happens and I have to get up? So yes, I'm not wearing pants. I'm wearing shorts. I'm wearing shorts. Okay, so fight or flight, bleed, vulnerability, intercepts, immunity. Each time the defender... I'm still getting used to this. I don't know why I look at my phone. I should look up. Each time the defender is knocked down, they gain a cruelty buff. Granting... Huh. I mean, this feels like something Penny should be able to handle. He's immune to incinerate. Let's see what happens. Let's have fun. This is a game. We should have fun. Is that Jacob reminding me that this won't work? You know why else this isn't going to work? Is I don't have... That wasn't smart. I could really have used the synergy that would make me go unblockable. I forgot that I actually don't have that right now. Yeah, that was going to go bad. I think it could have been right. Big, a small thing, you keep calling Kitty Pryde Penny. Oh, thank you. I do make that mistake a lot. Yeah, and thank you for knowing what I actually mean. Thank you for actually knowing what I mean. That was a type and a half. I could go back up a little. Oh, Jacob retracted his message. Boris, what's up, dude? Can I ask a question out of the Gilly subject? Yeah. Do you know if the 100% chance on unblockable is fixed with Miles? I do not. And I will also happily admit, I don't know a lot about the Miles buff. I was really excited about it to begin with. I know Xander has done some cool stuff. A couple people have done some cool things with him. But he's not one that I really did dive into. It was Grinfield who's letting me know that Mole Man wouldn't work. I think we could have done something there if I had been able to go unblockable. If I had been able to go unblockable, I think we would have been all right. What if you have to get up? That's like your mom telling you to always wear clean underwear. Exactly. Always have a second pair of clean underwear with you. What if somehow you can't come home? What, like, I don't know why that's happening, but what if you couldn't? All right. I don't think this is going to go well for me, but I'm going to try Ghost. Like I said, I want to practice my Ghost. And so that's the point of this. And then, I'm sure you noticed APOC is there for the should all go horribly. Let's back away. I'm gonna bait this. All right. I'm going to try to move him back on his side of the screen. Especially as I'm kind of getting used to stuff. And then with this node of the Unstoppable, I kind of want to be cognizant of spacing a little bit more than I normally would be. I think we'll have time to get that off and still get away. Nope, I planned that horribly. See here. Yeah, obviously Ghost can do that. That's just not great Ghost play, but I'm going to keep practicing. And I am going to get better. Fluff, you like the Miles buff? How important was this SIG? I think it was Cam tested it quite a bit. And then I think the initial thought was SIG really important and maybe a synergy. And then over time, I think through more thorough testing, he began to think maybe not as important. So I'm curious if you know the answer. I'd love to see that. The moment can be taken by basically any champ. All right. It's probably Artine Miles pretty soon. There's definitely something there. Oh, Campo. All right. Why did you bring Hood for Ghost? You can't phase recoil with the synergy. Now it's bugged. Just purely for practice, man. Purely for practice. Like I actually kind of like Ghost, or sorry, Hood. And I wanted to kind of play him. There was a Nihilus who I was, it didn't go that well. Actually, it did all right. And so purely for practice. It's like, again, if I was just trying to go itemless on this, I wouldn't have brought Ghost. I'm not a very good Ghost player right now, so I want to just try to get better. So this purely for practice, and that sort of thing. Fluffy, I always do this. I forget to completely read before I enter the fight. Did you say you... Oh, wow. Dude, that's really cool. My buddy Strands, dude, he is very good at like seeing potential in champions. And he has ranked up his Spider-Man 99 and destroyed some mojo. It was really cool. Tried to do too much at once. All right. Okay, I will land a bleed here, should he let me. Yeah, not too bad. I'm glad I brought in APOC for it, though. But I hear you, Jacob. It does seem like something a lot of champions could do. Vega, more SIGs equals more damage, but you don't need it to be 200. Dude, you got me kind of excited there, because I am looking for a science champion to rank up. And I want to like Miles. I want to like Miles just because I'm not going to pretend that I've been this big Miles fan for forever. I really like the Into the Spider-Verse movie. I like what they're doing with the character a lot. I enjoy those sorts of things. So I would want him to be good. And I'm actually looking for a science champion to put SIGs into, which I know sounds ridiculous because there's so many science champions that benefit from the high SIG. I don't know. Somehow I'm getting by without having done that. So we'll see. I am curious. It's not confirmed, and I truly don't know. This isn't just like CCP. I have the non-disclosure agreement. Like, I have no idea if Anti-Venom's coming to the game next month, but I know most of us are aware that the leaks are out, and that the person who's doing the leak or that source has been right. I don't think they've been wrong yet. So hopefully Anti-Venom's coming, and I'm seeing a lot of people saying, like, there's a reason to think he actually might be science. He actually might be science, which would be cool. Miles got you 3 kills last war? Mobius, what are you doing over there with those defenders? You got them doing some like CrossFit, and they're all powered up, I guess, right? Tez, did you see him? I did see that. Legacy put that out on a tweet. Someone else did too. But Legacy's in my BG and my alliance, so I saw that. Cam concluded if you use damage synergy Spider-Ham, I believe, on Miles, his SIG 20 was not performing much worse than SIG 200. Okay, that's pretty cool, especially because I love playing Spider-Ham. He is absolutely one of my favorite champions to play. So he's someone who I do not mind bringing along at all. I'm going to have to look into that. Again, Cam is in my alliance. I should just ask him too. Thank you for reminding me. Vega thoughts on Terox for offense. I took mine up to SIG 92 or 3. I actually really enjoy him. So, Aiden, I don't know a ton about playing him offensively. There is a... I haven't seen him do a YouTube video in a while, but Zillion loves Annihilus. There are people who really like him, and he, to me, is a great example of what I'm talking about in my tier list videos, where I try and get across the point, like, there are so many champions in this game that can do things, that can do, like, effective things. Sorry, Astro, if you're still listening. That will help you. It's just, there might be someone technically better, but like Annihilus can do things. He can help you. He can help you clear content. you just got to like him, and you got to really dive in and know the nuance on these champions, right? Like, I'm not going to keep bringing up Solar Centurion, but he has become my favorite example of easily dismissed. A lot of the CCP does not get a ton of time with these champions, guys, right? That's part of why you see these videos, and a lot of them, they almost look like live streams because they're like, well, let's try this, and I get it. It's because they didn't have a lot of time. And so I know Silver Centurion, I think, was initially kind of immediately swept under the rug a bit, but I'm playing him more, and I'm seeing like a pretty good champion. A pretty good champion. Vega has Miles has his place, but he's not OP. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Especially someone who would benefit from having 6 put into him. Again, though, I want to see anti-venom, and prestige is still a thing, right? As much as I'm not going to just rank purely for prestige, I still know that that's something I bring that's it's of a decent value to my alliance. So I don't want to just forgo it completely. So I always have to keep that in mind. I want to check out what this lane is. I hate this kind of stuff. So these people are going to be putting Cold Snap. I'm starting with Cold Snap immunity. And then when I charge a heavy, I'll switch to Incinerate. They have a 50% chance. Thanks, Aiden. Appreciate you helping out, buddy. Ooh. All right. Good luck. That sounds like heady stuff. Have fun. All right. Holy cow. Use Havoc. I'm running Recoil Tree, though. That's my only concern. Is Odin worth grinding for as a 5-star? Odin is a good champion. Yeah, Odin is a good champion, and he makes your team better too, but he himself is actually good. Surfer is so good for this path, I think, especially with the Odin pre-fight. All right, let's see what happens. I mean, the worst thing that happens is we back out or use some items. I'm okay with either of those things happening. I am okay with either of those things happening. Surfer, Ghost, Havoc, Kingpin. Okay. So I'm actually going to get to use my dream team here. This was the team that I was extremely excited about with Kingpin coming in and then with Hood getting buffed. I just was very pumped up about this team. And I have no reason to think he's going to be great for it, but let's go with Shang-Chi. Yeah, because I'm not bringing Odin, so I don't want to bring Surfer. Yeah, I believe it's energy adoption. Yeah. All right. Let's have some fun. We play the game because it's fun. King Chen? I'm not sure I've seen that before. I'm trying to figure out how I haven't. Yeah, thank you. I would probably bring Havoc if I was wanting to take off Recoil Tree and all that stuff. And again, like I want to play champions who I want to practice. I would like to get better with Shang-Chi. I'd like to get better with Ghost. So that's what we'll be doing here. And honestly, I'm getting okay with Kingpin. I'd like to get better, though. I would like to get better. All right, so here we go. Let's try this out with Shang-Chi. I want to see if his cleanse can keep up with this. Hmm. I need to prioritize this cleanse a bit more. I'm getting these debuffs a little faster than I thought I would. That's not too bad. It's not bad. Considering I didn't prioritize cleanse enough in the beginning. That's not bad. What's up, Raider? How you doing, dude? How are you doing? Thanks a lot for the comments recently. I really appreciate them. Torch is very good. Use Joe Fixit and Iron Fist. Well, I did say it was champions I wanted to get better at. Although I do have a friend who's a very smart player who feels like Iron Fist is actually pretty good, and I can't think of who the synergy partner is, but it's a synergy partner. I'm not going to remember. Does Ghost handle this fight well? I'm trying to think of why Ghost wouldn't handle this well against Professor X. Armor break synergy. Yep, Kravitan. That's exactly it. Iron Fist plus Nova synergy. Is that where it's coming from? Living the dream, brother. Anytime. Yeah, thanks, Raider. And I'm really happy to hear that, dude. I'm really happy to hear things are going well. When the best advice when it comes to arena, don't stop. Yeah, I hate that is the best advice, but it really is. It really is. Just don't stop. Like, don't feel safe. You know, sometimes like if you overshoot by millions, you're like, oh, I could have stopped, but that feels a lot better than coming up short. It will be bad, I think. Yeah, thank you. There was something that was giving me pause here. Let's see how Kingpin does it. Iron Fist is the Mystic Corvus. No. I said he's better than Corvus. You got if you're gonna do it, you got to get it right. He's like Hercules and Corvus combined. I feel like I can't land a parry to save my life today, which is really fun. You would think it wouldn't be fun, but it is. All right, here we go. All right, not too bad. Hercules. That sounds like if Cat Murdoch ever did an April Fool's mashup. I feel like that's what it would be. Hercules. That's hilarious. Is a champ really OP when they rely completely on another champ? Can you give us an example? And also, like, are you more just trying to prove a point, or are you totally serious? I'm very curious. 616. Let me know. Why don't you go ahead and say CGR is the best cosmic and most underrated champ while you're at it, Vega? Someone is going to clip that and put that up. Wait, this came from, there was an earlier question, right? That's how we got onto this, about CGR. The bullfighter. Hey, Vega, how do you feel about all this talk that CGR is overrated? I am not familiar with that talk. I'm becoming more and more skillful at, I think, avoiding some of the noise. that is enjoyable. A lot of people enjoy it, so I get that. But I have not heard that talk. I think CGR is a top. It's always weird. I always, I watch a lot of fantasy football, or I listen to some podcasts, and I used to always think it was weird when they would ask the host or the person, the analyst. They'd be like, "Oh, well, where do you have so and so ranked?" And they'd be like, and you're like, "Well, it's your rankings. You should know where they are." And now I completely get it. I think I have CGR in my top 4 Cosmic. I think I actually moved Captain Marvel movie down. I know I did that into my 2nd tier. She's still amazing. You just have to keep in mind how I'm framing my rankings. And I think the top 4 was CGR, Hyperion, Corvus, and Hercules. And honestly, I can think of matchups where any one of them is going to be better than the other. Like, I think I can think of matchups where any of them would be better than the other. So unless someone's saying CGR is the best Cosmic Champion in the game all the time, always, then I don't think they're overrated. I think if you're like, yeah, he's one of the best Cosmic Champions, yep, I agree. You can't watch fantasy football. This is true. But one of the fantasy football analysts that I really like has started a YouTube channel. I watch YouTube probably more than I watch YouTube more than I watch like TV. I'm not sure how to differentiate those anymore. But his name's Chris Harris. Actually, if you guys don't know him, if you like fantasy football, if you like football, it's Harris Football. The guy's really good. He can get a little preachy, I think, at times. Hopefully he's not watching. But he's really good. I really like his takes on it. And he has a podcast. It's called Harris Football, and he has a YouTube channel where he goes over game film and stuff like that. I really like it. Exactly. That's why I was wondering if that's what he was referring to. Who needs Caban Broccoli? We have Vega chat to design new champions. I bet you we could put together a monster. Cable is OP with... Yeah, that's a great example. Cable absolutely needs APOC. Without him, he is terribad. In fact, I had to move Cable down in my rankings because I'm intentionally trying to not make them super complex. And I moved Cable up because of the APOC synergy, and it really just started throwing people off. And my whole point is to be a resource, not to confuse people. So I moved Cable back down. I think that should finish her. Uh-oh. Nope. There we go. I watch YouTubers stream on YouTube more than TV. Some awesome guys create awesome videos. Dude, it's funny, as I was saying it, I realized my actual television watching, right, has gone up significantly in the last 2 weeks, and that's only because the NFL has started. It's only because the NFL has started. So, like, I'll record Thursday and Monday night, and usually Sunday night football too, and then I'll try to watch it. The first half I watch like in fast forward, or I skip commercials and whatever, and then I'll watch it after my kids go to bed. And then this Sunday I watched the Eagles. The Eagles are my favorite real NFL team. And I watched the Eagles play the 49ers. They were on the network TV because I live in San Francisco. And yeah, so like my actual TV watching has gone up significantly. But before that, I was definitely viewing or listening to YouTube significantly more than TV. I have some shows I watch with my wife and stuff like that, but it's not that frequent. What's up, Alan? How you doing, dude? Thanks for stopping by. I'm just happy I got to move Colossus and Falcon down, and Aegon got to keep his spot. Sad Killmonger got caught in the crossfire. There had to be collateral damage, Jacob. In fact, I couldn't just give you everything you wanted. No, I really thought about it. Because again, keep in mind like the framework of the rankings. For me, it's, really a lot of it is like, how quickly am I to say yes to the rank 3 question that we get? And Killmonger, I thought about it. Like, if you ranked up Killmonger, if you took him to Sig 200, you awakened him. You took him to rank 5 as a 5-star. And your next 6-star pool was a 6-star Killmonger. I don't think you're going to get over that sting in a couple of days. And that's the litmus test. That's what the litmus test currently is. And that's why Captain Marvel movie got moved down too. They are great champions. They are fantastic champions. If someone asked me on stream, hey, should I rank up Killmonger to rank 3? I'd be like, yeah. But they don't fit the test that's been set for top shelf. So, and that's why I also moved Colossus and Falcon down too, as you're saying. Detective Pikachu, how much of 7 have you explored yet? I did that like initial completion, but I am really just working on. In fact, I got to get through more because I want to be ready for 7.3, and I think I might need some of the rank up resources to take that tech champion up. We'll see how some of my RNG goes here. Raider fan, or Raider, I got some fam out in SF. Yeah, man, it's a great place. I've lived up here for 7 years now. It's flown by. It has absolutely flown by. But I am originally a Southern Californian. All right. Yeah, I'm originally from Southern California. Spent almost my whole life there. Can Strife not miss? As someone who likes Strife a lot, I am confused. I'm going to look up, and obviously he can't miss. All right. No, he missed there. What is going on? Does anyone know what was happening there? I have no qualms with admitting I have no clue. Oh, I thought he just countered evade. He counters miss as well? I thought his psychic blast only countered evade. Jacob, you seeing that? Strife just got even better. Strife just got even better. It's very cool. The psionic blast, right? Psionic blast on medium, heavy, and several hits in SB2 that are psychic deal energy damage instead of physical and cannot be evaded. Yeah, wait. Yeah, no, I like Strife. I don't think he's the best champion in the game, but I like him. I did not think he counters miss. He was throwing his mediums. Is it further down in his description? Uh, 616, you guys, psychic attacks counter miss. So it's just, so this is like a bit of a, not an Easter egg necessarily, but you're just supposed to kind of learn this over time. Got it. Oh, cool. I learned something new today. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that. Strife. That's interesting. Got another ability he isn't the best at. Jacob, you're one day going to come back to this game and you're going to pull Strife and you're not going to want to tell any of us because he's the only one you're going to play. You're going to play him all the time. You're going to complete Act 8 with him. And you're going to get a t-shirt that says, I love Strife. I'm sure of it. This is my prediction for you. All right, Strife. Here we go. This is, again, cannot parry to save my life. All right, let's do a couple more belly bumps and call it a day. There we go. Did they change Ghost's description? I don't know, Pierre. I'm very curious about all of that. There's a lot there with the whole psychic shielding and psychic blasts and whatever that I'm not going to pretend to fully understand. I don't. Like, I literally was, it took me quite a while to be like, why is he not missing? But that's really cool. That's really cool. Probably just simple ways to start trying to kind of chip down at Ghost a little bit and how awesome she is. K-Dog, what is up, dude? What's up? I hope I'm not around for Act 8. Dude, it's not that far off. Think about it. I mean, 7.3 is supposed to come out next month. It is not that far off. That's just how it is with this game. It's just how it is. All right, let's go back to Mr. Shang-Chi. Gonna try to work on cleanses a little bit more here. See how this goes. Gotta reset them though. Does no good if I don't reset. There we go. Oh, that wasn't smart. I meant to throw unblockable. Really don't want to push her to her SP2. Yep, that's not going to go well. Thanks for stopping by, Raider. Really appreciate it, dude. And thank you. What's up, Stilty? Yeah, 616, like, I've gotten more and more comfortable with, like, you know what? It's just really frustrating. It happens significantly more on my streaming phone, which I'm happy about. If this was how War was, I would be very, very frustrated. This is cool how she doesn't want to throw her special. I'm really enjoying that. Let's see if we can get her to... Yeah, like right there. I mean, it is a delight. It is a delight. Yeah, Grinfield, I did not play that well. That's part of what I'm talking about. Like, I know there are champions that could be superior for these lanes, but the only way I'm going to get better with champions like Shang-Chi and Ghost is by playing them. That's just the only way it's going to happen. That's the only way it's going to happen. So it is what it is. You got to make mistakes and learn from them. Christmas sweater. I got to see this. Jeez Louise. Simulator really surprised I don't have some. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. But I think I just got... well, we had Grandmaster's Gauntlet and Summer of Pain. So most of my game time went to that or to War, you know, doing War and then AQ, and then obviously making these videos. All right, let's see if this is enough to get this done. Should be fine. I'm going to use Shang. I don't think he's the best option for it, but like I said, the only way to get better at him is by playing him. And I think that's kind of the trick with him is when you're in the fight, you know, remembering what it is you're trying to accomplish and getting the strikes in. And I'm not going to lie. It's going to sound like an excuse, but talking and playing Shang-Chi, not the easiest. But as you're seeing, if I had paid better attention to the stun, as was pointed out, thank you, and to his Wushu strikes, he could destroy that fight, no problem. Buff, you're still waiting for a bullseye? Vega, don't give Vega any ideas, Krav. He might send me a shirt with "I love Strife" written on it. I kind of actually want to now. Maybe that's going to be next year's Vega channel shirt. Is "I love Strife." And it won't say "I love Strife." It'll say "Jacob loves Strife," and it'll have like a little hand pointing up. So it's very clear who Jacob is. Yeah, yeah. That's where the Christmas sweater idea came in. Actually, it would make a lot of sense as a Christmas sweater. I like that idea. Let's continue to try to get better with Shang. Let's try to get better. Yeah, well, I mean, the rewards for so many things that came out have been incredible. So, like, when you're prioritizing your time, it kind of made sense to maybe not do 7.2 first. See, that's the mistake I'm making. I am not. I think I'm unblockable, and I'm not. Think I'm unblockable, I'm not. You can make me sure. Well, what's it going to say? Is it going to be the Jacob Loves stripe shirt? Or, oh my goodness. I'm all out of options. Oof, got lucky there. Got really lucky there. When they introduce Bullseye, if they actually do, I expected him for so long. He'll undoubtedly have a synergy to make Devil's Hell sketch. You know what? He was in a there was a Marvel game that came out a few years ago called Strike Force, and he was very early character in that. He was a very, very, very early character in that. Nice finish, yeah, Simula. That's like next level Shang-Chi play is you intimidate the opponent into not throwing their specials. It's really cool. Okay. We're just gonna go ahead and kill Mole Man again. Yeah. We'll bring in APOC to kill Mole Man. But I think this is good. I'm actually very happy with this. Where is APOC? There he is. Actually, bring in APOC for Shang, because I don't think Shang-Chi is going to work out real well there. Anyways, so just in case something goes wrong, I have some backup options. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I think streaming is good, because I would love to actually get to the point where I can use Shang-Chi in War. And in War, you know, you make a little mistake, and the pressure and the stress goes up a little bit. And so you can get a little more distracted. So I do think that streaming is a good replacement for it. I've noticed the more I stream and the more used to this I get. Jeez Louise. The smoother War has been. Wow, this is really good. Oh, man. That was exciting. What was that? I don't know. I started speaking. What I'm trying to say is I've noticed my war fighting has gotten better since I started streaming, and I think it's related. I do think that they are related. I don't think it's an accident. Yeah, Sim. What I'm trying to remember is that one is explain things. It's like when you do a video. Like I just did a video testing out some abilities of a champions, and it's very specific. Like I'm very specifically trying to test certain abilities, and And even some of the comments, I can tell, like, they're not understanding the framing, and that's okay. That's fine, you know? Like, I'm okay with that. I'm not always going to be understood. And I think it's also, like, what are we used to? You know, there are streamers, and they do a great job of it, where they're actively showing you, this is how good I am. You know, this is how good I am at the game. And it is really fun to watch. I will watch some of those too. That's just typically not going to be my stream. You know, my stream's going to be a lot more chatting, talking, hanging out. And then, of course, like me just trying to figure out interactions and hopefully get better with champions. All right, let's see here. Like this doesn't really make a lot of sense. There's not a lot of great reasons for me to have brought in this fight. I'd like to try to get better at it. I noticed I was really struggling with the special evades of Mole Man, which is kind of ridiculous because they're not difficult. There we go. All right. All right, so that's going to die. We're going to go in with Apocalypse and finish him off now. I like Electra. All right, looks like some sort of conversation started there. Archangel works straight for this fight. He's the easiest boss in the quest. Yeah, so you probably didn't catch it earlier. I'm actively trying not to use Archangel unless I'm trying to showcase him, because he just makes things so, kind of to your point. Like, I totally agree. But I fought Super Scroll earlier, and I realized, like, I have really no idea how to fight Super Scroll. And most of that is because every time I've ever fought him, I have used Archangel. Archangel just melts him, gets the fight over with, and I never have to worry that there's like a miss mechanic and a power gain and all of these things. So I'm actively trying to get better for a variety of reasons, not just for the channel. But I am in 4 Loki, and they do assign me fights. And so I want to do my best to be helpful with that. I only died 3 times this season. I was pretty proud of that. I was actually really proud of that. And I actually did take fights. I realized some people were probably like, yeah, that's because you didn't fight. I didn't do war videos for every war. I've noticed just like how poorly those videos performed in comparison to my other videos. And so if something like really exciting or unique happened, oh, I was far enough away. I don't like that. I put those out. Like I put out a Diablo video and something else. There was another video where something really cool happened, so I put those out. Oh, Legacy put pre-fights on for me. I thought that was fun. Only use AA when work is there? Work is a good dude. Work is a good dude. And I see Jacob was as supportive as one could be of this idea. Alright, we're going to throw one more of these. And I'm going to see if I can detonate it, how much that's going to do. I thought it would do more. That's really disappointing. That was not the smart play, of course. Because now I have to deal with this. Should have backed away a lot sooner. All right. Let's see if we can get a few more of the, can't think what they're called right now. And then detonate it for the win here. Oh, 1%? You gotta be kidding me. There we go. All right, well, that was fun. That's why I really enjoy Hood. I enjoy the setup. For some reason, the setup just kind of makes a little bit more sense to me. Not too much to do. So thank you, everyone who stuck around. This was a lot of fun. We covered Gilly there at the beginning. Hex charges. Thank you, Stilty. Hex charges. He's pretty cool. Pandaman Pete has really been showing me some pretty cool videos of him. He does have him at rank 3. That makes a big difference. He's on my list. He's on my list when I get another Mystic Tier 5 CC. I'll consider Hood. I think a lot of that will have to do with how much ghosting I actually did get in, and if I really did improve with Ghost or not. Because I love Kitty Pride, and I love playing her, and Ghost is a really nice synergy partner. So thank you, everyone who came by. Yeah, K-Dog, I like Hood. And like I said, Pandaman Pete has been showing me a lot, especially that detonation. It's big. And being able to miss is a big, big deal. You just can't fight, some of the best champions of the game, like Strife, apparently. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching, hanging out. You guys make this fun. Thank you, OG Highline, for the extremely generous donation. And yeah, thank you, everybody. We'll be back, I think, Thursday. Carrick, is Kitty just as good as Ghost? No, I don't think she is. I think she's very, very good, though. And she's different. It's a different game. But yeah, I don't think she's as good as Ghost. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I'm going to head out now. And I'll see you all on Thursday. See ya.